Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us this afternoon as we announce the 2015 inductees into the National Women's Hall of Fame, here from the Gould Hotel in Seneca Falls, New York. My name is Jill Tejan, and I'm the CEO of the National Women's Hall of Fame. I'm going to start by giving you some background information about the Hall and our inductee selection process before I introduce the class, the 2015 class of inductees. Following the presentation, I'd be happy to answer any of your questions that you have either about the Hall or about the inductees. Founded in 1969, the National Women's Hall of Fame is the country's oldest membership organization dedicated to recognizing and celebrating the achievements of great American women. The Hall is located in Seneca Falls, New York, birthplace of the American women's rights movement. To date, the Hall has inducted 256 of the greatest women in the history of this country, and we happen to have one with us today. I would ask Judy Pfeiffer to please stand up. These great women have profoundly shaped our nation and the world in the areas of arts, athletics, business, education, government, humanities, philanthropy, and science. The Hall's mission, showcasing great women, inspiring all. The Hall solicits nominations of outstanding American women from the public on an ongoing basis. Every other year, we assemble an independent national panel of judges who are experts in their fields to review the nominations. National Women's Hall of Fame staff and board members may not serve as judges. Each judge reviews and scores a number of nominations with the following criteria: the value of the nominees' contributions to the development of the United States, the significant national or global impact of the nominees' achievements, and the enduring value of the nominees' achievements. Scores are then tabulated by the Hall, and the top scoring women are selected for induction. In order to be formally inducted, living inductees must attend the ceremony. In the case of historic figures, we make every attempt to find the closest living relative or academic expert to accept on their behalf. We invite all of you to join us this year in October 2015, the 2nd through the 4th here in Seneca Falls, when 10 women will be inducted. Tickets are available at www.greatwomen.org. All right. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Tenley Albright. Diagnosed with polio at age 11 and told she might never walk again, Tenley Albright returned to the ice rink and at age 16 won a silver medal at the 1952 Olympics. In 1953, she became the first American woman to win a World Figure Skating Championship and became the first winner of figure skating's Triple Crown. A gold medalist at the 1956 Olympics, Albright pursued a career in medicine. A successful surgeon and leader in blood plasma research, Albright was the first woman to serve as an officer on the U.S. Olympic Committee and was named one of the 100 greatest female athletes by Sports Illustrated. Tenley Albright. Nancy Brinker. In 1982, with a promise to her dying sister, Nancy Brinker launched the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation, changed to Susan G. Komen for the Cure in 2007. Since its inception, the Susan G. Komen for the Cure has raised over $2 billion for research education, and health services, making it the largest breast cancer charity in the world. Along the way, Brinker pioneered the concept of cause-related marketing and established the color pink as the iconic representation for breast cancer. Almost 300 global and national companies are Komen sponsors, providing funding to fulfill the organization's promise to save lives and end breast cancer forever. Nancy Brinker. Martha Graham. Martha Graham's impact on dance was staggering and often compared to that of Picasso's on painting, Stravinsky's on music, and Frank Lloyd Wright's on architecture. Her contributions transformed the art form, revitalizing and expanding dance around the world. She created the Martha Graham Dance Company, one of the oldest dance troupes in America. As a teacher, Graham trained and inspired generations of fine dancers and choreographers. Graham technique, now a standard, codified method of training dancers developed from the movement vocabulary she created for each new work. Graham introduced the use of moving scenery, used props as symbols, and combined speech with dancing, creating a whole new language of dance. She was also the first to integrate her group, using African Americans and Asians in her regular company. Martha Graham. Marcia Greenberger. Marcia Greenberger's work has affected virtually every major law of importance to women and girls in the U.S. for more than 40 years. A sampling of these laws include the Civil Rights Restoration Act of 1987, the Pregnancy Discrimination Act of 1978, the Civil Rights Act of 1991, and the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act. Lilly Ledbetter, by the way, is an inductee. After serving as the first female lawyer at Kaplan and Drysdale in 1972, she founded what today is called the National Women's Law Center. This established her as the first full-time women's rights legal advocate in Washington, D.C. She is a leader in securing the passage of major legislation, counsel in landmark litigation establishing new legal protections for women, and the author of numerous published articles. Her work has culminated in U.S. Supreme Court victories, strengthening protections for students and teachers against sex discrimination in schools and in the workplace and beyond, and she frequently testifies before Congress. Marcia Greenberger. Barbara Igluski. A professor of microbiology and immunology, Dr. Barbara Igluski holds 7 patents and is a prolific writer and editor. Her landmark discovery was that bacteria communicate with each other. Igluski's work on the bacteria Pseudomonas, whatever it is, aeruginosa, its production, modes of action and regulation, and specifically how it damages the lungs of patients with cystic fibrosis, has had an enormous impact nationally and globally. In addition, she has studied the biofilms that bacteria make that cause intractable problems, both in the body and in clinical and industrial pipes. Barbara Igluski. Jean Kilbourne. Jean Kilbourne is internationally recognized for her groundbreaking work on the image of women in advertising and for her critical studies of alcohol and tobacco advertising. In the 1960s, she began her exploration of the connection between advertising and several public health issues, including violence against women and eating disorders. Kilbourne launched a movement to promote media literacy as a way to prevent these problems, a radical and original idea at the time that is today mainstream and an integral part of most prevention programs. She has transformed the way in which organizations and educational institutions around the world address the prevention of many public health problems, including smoking, high-risk drinking, eating disorders, obesity, the sexualization of children, and violence against women. Jean Kilbourne. Carlotta Walls Lanier. In 1957, at age 14, Carlotta Walls became the youngest member of the Little Rock Nine, 9 African-American students who integrated Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. Inspired by Rosa Parks and determined to get the best education possible, she enrolled in Central High School. Anger and violent behavior threatened their safety and motivated President Dwight D. Eisenhower to dispatch the Army's 101st Airborne Division to protect their constitutional rights. Escorted to classes by armed guards, Walls and every other Little Rock student were barred from attending Central the next year when all 4 Little Rock high schools were closed. A 1960 graduate of Little Rock Central High School, Carlotta Walls Lanier has been awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. Carlotta Walls Lanier. Philippa Merrick. Pippa Merrick, is one of the world's leading research scientists investigating T cells, the family of cells that help the body fight off disease. Her work has led to a greater understanding of their role in the immune system and has impacted the health of people across the world. Her findings shape medicine's current understanding of the human immune system, vaccines, HIV, and other immune system disorders. Philippa Merrick. Mary Harriman Rumsey. The founder of the Junior League, Mary Harriman Rumsey's initial organization was a group of 80 debutantes in 1901. The Junior League was established to unite interested young women of means in joining the settlement movement in New York City. Rumsey and the League's leader brought together experts on the settlement movement to provide lectures and instruction to Junior League members. Today, the Junior League is one of the oldest, largest, and most effective women's volunteer organizations in the world, encompassing more than 150,000 women in 292 leagues in 4 countries. Mary Harriman Rumsey. Eleanor Ellie Smeal. The founder of the Feminist Majority, Feminist of the Year Awards, a former president of the National Organization for Women, and publisher of Ms. Magazine, Eleanor Smeal's life and work has been dedicated to the achievement of women's equality and human rights. Known as a political analyst, strategist, and grassroots organizer, she has played a pivotal role in defining the debate, developing the strategies, and charting the direction of the modern-day women's movement. She was the first to identify the gender gap, the difference in the way women and men vote, and popularized its usage in election and polling analyses to enhance women's voting clout. She has been at the forefront of every major women's rights victory and pivotal in the passage of landmark legislation for women's equality. She has pushed to make Social Security and pensions more equitable for women, has campaigned to close the wage gap, and she has worked to achieve pay equity for the vast majority of women. who are segregated into low-paying jobs. Oh, sorry. Eleanor Smeal. That's okay. That's all 10. Thank you again for joining us here today to hear more about the Hall and our 2015 inductees. The Hall is thrilled to be recognizing these extraordinary women, and I'd be happy to take your questions if you have any.
What weekend is induction?
Induction is October 2nd through 4th, 2015. It will be here in Seneca Falls, New York. Yes, sir.
Do you know where at this point?
The induction ceremony itself will be at the New York Chiropractic College. There will be a reception that's a Saturday, and the reception Saturday night will be here at the Gould Hotel.
What else is encompassed in that wonderful ceremony, that wonderful weekend? What's going to happen?
The question is, what else will happen during the induction weekend? And the answer is there will be conversations with great women on Friday, depending on which of the inductees are available to present to students. There will be a private reception on Friday evening for the inductees and their family. There will be a luncheon at the New York Chiropractic College. There will be an induction ceremony. There will be a gala reception, and there will be tours available of the Seneca Knitting Mill, the new home of the National Women's Hall of Fame when it's completed, and the new home of the Center for Great Women. Do I want to talk about how we're coming on the renovation? It's actually the adaptive rehabilitation of the Seneca Knitting Mill, an 1844 building here in Seneca Falls, New York, on the branch of the Erie Canal called the Cayuga-Seneca branch of the Erie Canal. In 2014, the hall spent $1.2 million, and during 2014, we were able to abate all of the asbestos and bird droppings in the building, remove all of the windows, weatherize the building, make the building stable by putting in stabilizing rods in the building so it's now square, and put on a beautiful new roof. Something very exciting is going to happen this month, which is March of 2015. We're going to have the selection of the architect. And after that, we will have design drawings that will be built or put together for the mill, and we intend to begin construction on the first floor and potentially the addition in 2015, with move-in slated for December of 2016 for the first floor.
And financially?
Financially, we are moving forward well, but we are always seeking additional donations. We only need an additional $20 million at this point for the complete rehabilitation of the mill. And we're coming along well, but we're always seeking new donors.
You might mention too, Jill, that phase 3A, which is the first floor, the dollar amount needed to do that is around $5.5 to $6 million.
Right. If during, well, we have $3.1 million in grants right now, most of which we have to match. And in order to complete the first floor of the mill building, along with the addition for the visitor center, we're looking at between $5 and $6 million for that. So we need to raise somewhere in the neighborhood of $2 to $3 million in order to match the grants that we've received to date. And that's what we want to do with move-in slated for December of 2016. Yes, sir. Is there room in the current hall for these 10 women? We would put these 10 women anywhere we could put them, but yes, we have room for these 10 women in the hall. Any other questions?
What if you nominated a woman who wasn't selected this year? What happens
If you nominated a woman who was not selected for this year, and this year was the first year that you nominated that woman, she is automatically carried over for consideration for 2017. And we are in the process of putting those letters together to all the nominators to inform them of that process and decision. If you submitted a nomination for the 2015 inductees in 2013 and she already rolled over once, then that nomination needs to be resubmitted to be considered for the 2017 induction.
Jill, question.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a silly question, I admit it before asking. Maybe it's two silly questions. The first is, out of curiosity, the living nominees, inductees, how long have they known that they've been nominated and they're in your class? And the second question is, are they all in good health?
The two questions are, how long have the nominees, the inductees for 2015, known that that they are going to be nominated, they're going to be inducted in October of 2015? And the answer is, they've all known since the fall of 2014. They all had to agree to appear. They had to provide us with information. And yes, to my knowledge, all of the 2015, the 8 of the 10, obviously 2 are deceased, but the 8 of the 10, to my knowledge, are all in good health. And we are anticipating that, barring some unforeseen, very tragic event, that they will all be in Seneca Falls in October.
Thank you.
Are you expecting any former inductees at the ceremony?
Are we expecting any former inductees at the induction? Well, we know for sure that Judy Pfeiffer will be there. She's co-chair of induction and a board member, and we know she will be there. We actually normally have a showing of former inductees at the induction ceremony, and it really depends on their availability and the contact that we've had with them, and we're going to invite all of the former inductees to come. We hope they will. So. Any other questions? All right. Well, Sharon Houtland from the Gould Hotel wanted to make a brief announcement here at the end.
Just wanted to thank you all for coming to the Gould to celebrate this very exciting event. We're proud to be the home where the Hall of Fame is, and we are glad to have you all here. We have a reception out in the back, and out in the lobby, I should say. Make yourselves at home and enjoy the hotel. Just so you know, in the next couple of weeks, you will see some cosmetic surgery being done around the hotel. Painting, I think it's been since '09. And so we're doing some painting. They're working on some rooms. We've added some pictures. You already want us up in the restaurant. There's going to be a little bit of construction going on. Everything should be done by the first week in May. So we'll be launching that with possibly an open house of sorts, and along with that will be our new spring menu that will come out. So there's a lot going on here at the Gould as well. So we encourage you to stop by and see what's going on, and also you'll be obviously invited to the event. So we welcome you here, and congratulations to all the inductees that are going to be done in the fall. So we look forward to that as well. Have a great afternoon. Thank you very much, and thank you, Jill.